Hello and welcome to Laker Connections, your source for all things related to Oswego sports. Brandon Ash alongside Jake Vanderbroek, ready to bring you a recap of all things that happened this past week. Both the men's and women's teams started with exhibition games, which can only mean one thing: hockey night here in Oswego. Jake, how did the men's team fare on Saturday?
Well, Brandon, the Oswego State Lakers kicked off their season last Saturday as they defeated Nazareth by a score of 5-2. Tanner Spink led the Lakers in the scoring department with 2 goals. Josh Isaac, Mitch Emerson, and Joseph Molinaro were also able to find the back of the net as they each finished with 1 goal in the contest. Oswego is back on the ice this Saturday as they host Carleton Place out of the CCHL. Puck drops at 7 p.m.
The women took the ice to play the London Junior Devilettes. We start with the Devilettes on the power play, and a great goal here as it was Gosling to make Knight. Nice move here by Morissette as she's able to get the Lakers on the board, still down 2-1. Now Rachel Farmer comes into the second period. A brilliant save here, whistle blown a little bit early, but then came back here. A great pad save and another one right in front as she would allow 0 goals in her 20 minutes. With just a minute left, a beautiful wraparound goal here by Leah Zerwinski as she was falling to her knees. Gets embraced by the team. Just look at it, right off the pad and then off the back of the net, falling to her knees, and a beautiful wraparound. Now we move to the third, and a scrum in front allowed for an open look for Nolan, who executed, and the Devilettes lead it 3-2. 2 minutes later, Philomena Teggart would score to tie it 3-3, and a one-timer there from freshman Avery Webster would give Oswego the 4-3 lead, and they would take that to the end of the game, winning 4-3. So, Jake, I mean, yeah, we're talking about the women's hockey here right now.
Yep.
How good, first off, did Avery Webster and the rest of the team look?
Avery Webster, she looks phenomenal. The fact that she was fresh, third period, coming up right in that lane change. Next thing you know, the ability to give a one-timer, that was just phenomenal. And the fact that that was the go-ahead goal to give the Lakers a 4-3 win, very impressive. And this women's team looked really good. First period, they struggled, let's admit. You had some defensive miscues, and they had a hard time getting the puck out of their own zone, which gave the Devilettes a bunch of opportunities in this one. They were up 2-0, but then the Lakers, they started crawling back into it, and it was somewhat of a game, and the Lakers were able to pull through in the third period.
And you look, they started the game off with DeTanto, and letting up 2 goals there in her senior year in the exhibition game didn't look good. Like I said, Farmer saw some tough shots, but she looked great in net. So first off, I think Farmer most likely gets a start, just the way that she looked in that second period.
Yeah, definitely. Farmer should be starting this weekend. But what were some of your takeaways from this men's team?
That's the one thing. Again, with the goalies, you have to look a very just unexpected night to say the least for David Richey. Normally the guy's on, but this one I believe he saw 6 shots and let in 2. Versus you had Hansen come out, didn't see too many shots, but looked good there. And even Kozakowski, the freshman, looked good. So you really don't want to pin an exhibition game like that against Richey. But if he wants to be the starting goalie, he has to come out this weekend in the exhibition game and prove well. However, the offense looked good, and they were getting defensive shots. And the only thing now is the power play. That's the big question. They went 1 for 9.
Yeah, absolutely. Richey struggled. Offense was looking pretty good, but the special teams, this is something that they looked a little better. Even though they went 1 for 9, I saw some things that looked really good compared to what they were doing last season. What they were doing last season was that they just kept passing the puck around, and then they would take a shot like 45 seconds within the period. But this time, out of all 9 power plays we saw, Brandon, they were taking shots 15 seconds in, another shot, more and more and more. And they looked very aggressive offensively, and that led to them attacking in the first period against this team. So.
Though 100%, I mean, like you said, the movement was great and it was there, but now it's about finding the back of the net. You can't be going 1 for 9. If you're getting that many opportunities and the other team is playing sloppy, you have to execute. Which, like you said, they were getting shots on, but you have to get better looks, better shots, and hopefully, they have another exhibition game, and hopefully they can answer the questions that they had from this past exhibition game. But when we come back. Looking like we're going to give you the rest of the fall sports season, as most of the teams ended or may have a few games left. But we'll let you know exactly how those final games of the season went for the rest of the teams. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Laker Connections.
Hi, I'm Anthony Citron, and for one view a day, you can help producers at WTOP get the recognition they deserve for their work. For just 30 minutes a day, you can help these students make sure their work does not go unnoticed. Please, click the link below and help these students get the recognition they deserve. All it takes is one view a day.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Hello and welcome back to Laker Connections on WTOP 10. Each week, student athletes are chosen by the SUNYAC as their Athletes of the Week. This week, the award was given to Oswego men's soccer goalie Brian Terra and Miranda Frascator for women's swimming and diving. Terra recorded 2 penalty shot saves late in the game as the men's team upset Brockport by a score of 2-1. Frascator placed first in the 1-meter dive in Oneonta on Saturday with a score of 222.7, while also placing second in the 3-meter dive.
The men's soccer team had to win both their games this past weekend to keep their SUNYAC playoff hopes alive. They started off against the Brockport Golden Eagles. Brockport was able to score first as a great pass in there, and Terra could not make the save. But RJ Nickel was able to come back in the 38th minute as Oswego was able to tie it up at 1 with a great shot there. A lot of back and forth ball we have in Oswego, but Anthony Paris put a header to the back of the net as Oswego was able to pull off the upset win 2-1. That gave the Golden Eagles their first SUNYAC loss of the season.
After a big win against the Golden Eagles, the Lakers tied the Geneseo Knights with neither team scoring in the contest. However, Oswego State's offense was aggressive as the Lakers put up 5 shots on goal. Jack Van Pelt had the last shot on goal, but was denied by the Knights keeper in the 107th minute. Goalie Brian Terra finished the game with 3 saves as he recorded another shutout. With the tie, the Lakers are eliminated from postseason contention.
The women's soccer team also needed a big weekend to keep their playoff dreams intact, and it started off with Brockport. Sounds familiar, I know. Only 6 minutes in, Lindsey Roth would deke out a few defenders to give the Lakers the early 1-0 lead. The Eagles took some time, but in the 38th minute scored a goal past Emma Allen. This one would go into overtime tied at 1, and the Eagles got an opportunity off a turnover, which they executed to perfection as they beat the Lakers 2-1.
After a tough loss to Brockport, the Lakers looked flat in their performance against nationally ranked Geneseo as they lost by a score of 3-0. The Lakers were only able to record 6 shots, with 4 of them coming on goal. Senior Audrey Burbridge recorded 4 of those shots for the team, while Emma Allen finished with 6 saves in the contest.
The women played in their last game of the season yesterday against the Hamilton Continentals. Hamilton's Kat Gambino got her scoring done in the first half, scoring 2 goals in just 5 minutes. Lindsay Roth would wait until the second half, scoring 2 for Oswego to tie it up. It would come down to overtime yet again for the Lakers, and in double overtime, Kat Gambino finished off the hat trick, giving the Continentals the 3-2 win.
Switching over to some volleyball, Oswego State took care of business as they defeated the Buffalo State Bengals in 3 sets. Allison Sullivan finished with 9 kills and recorded 8 blocks. Emily Costa had 20 digs, while both Allison Berger and Melissa Lucier had 3 aces to hold the Bengals to a 6% attack percentage. Berger paced the offense with 23 assists, while Julia Floor contributed 8 of her own.
After a big win the night before against the Bengals, the Lakers started off their Saturday play against Brockport. Shauna O'Flaherty and Melissa Lucier would be the only 2 players with double-digit kills at 11 and 10 respectively. 3 close sets gave Oswego hope, scoring 20 in the first and 21 in the second and third sets. But Brockport created tough kills, and Oswego had 5 more errors in the match as Brockport had to work for the win. But they would win in 3 straight sets.
After a tough loss to the Golden Eagles, the Lakers brought their brooms out as they swept the Red Dragons, winning 3 sets to none. Shauna O'Flaherty led the team with 9 kills in the match. Melissa Lucier recorded 8 kills, and senior Allison Sullivan tallied 6 blocks to go with her 6 kills. The Lakers are now in the postseason as they will be the 6th seed heading into the SUNYAC tournament.
And the women's field hockey team was still fighting for a chance to end the season at 500 heading into their final games. They took on the Cayuga Wolves to keep that hope alive. The Lakers were putting good shots on goal, and 3 goals in the first half by Conklin, Reynolds, and DeMichael would be the difference in the game. Evelyn Burdick would also score her first goal of the season in the second half. Unfortunately, Catalano lost the shutout, allowing a goal with 4 minutes left, but the Lakers would win the game by a score of 4-1.
When we come back, I'll be sitting down with women's hockey analyst Matt Watling to discuss the team's first exhibition game of the season. You're watching Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't use this one.
He helps me with my decision making.
Never.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
And then she was like, yeah, and I was like, no. And then she was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, what?
Ryan just texted me.
Oh my God, what did he say?
Netflix and chill?
Netflix and chill, that's like so last year. It's all about WTOP movies on demand and chill.
You are so right.
Yo, bro, what's wrong?
Yo, bro, my girl left me, bro.
But why?
Because I don't watch WTOP 10 movies on demand.
Welcome back to Laker Connections. Right now, I'm joined by women's hockey analyst Matt Walling. Matt, thank you for joining us.
Oh, anytime.
All right, so Matt, we saw the women's hockey team. They faced the London Devilettes. What were some of your takeaways from Saturday's game?
I got one word for Rachel Farmer. Damn! She was tremendous in net, the best goaltender in the game. She was agile in net, got set in her position quickly, had 12 saves, and going back to getting in your position in net quickly is so important. Once you get set as a goalie, it makes it that much easier to track the puck, to follow where it's going, and then make your next move. And as someone that's a butterfly goaltender like Farmer is, she wants to get up and tall so that she can kind of, as a shorter goalie at 5'3", she wants to protect the top of the net because that's where she gets scored on more often than not when she drops down into that butterfly.
Right, and what did you like from this team offensively?
Offensively, I thought that they were really good. You know, last year they struggled a little bit, averaged less than 3 goals a game, I believe. And this sophomore class is already taking strides, and I don't want to look into it too much because it's only one game. But the sophomores scored 3 of the Lakers' 4 goals. And that was so crucial because they were supposed to be one of the bigger and better classes that this Lakers team has ever seen. And for them to come out strong early on is so important. You saw Emma Morissette score a goal, Leah Sherwinski get the power play goal, and of course Philomena Taggart scoring the game-tying goal on the from the back end was just so crucial to this team.
Yeah, absolutely. You talked about Farmer, then you talked about offense, but what about this defense, though? They struggled in the first period, but I feel like they gathered it together. But what's your take on them defensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be fine, but one thing I really didn't like was that they kept trying to go up the middle when they were in their own end. Trying to break out of the zone, they kept going up the middle of the ice, and it wasn't working. You saw the Devilettes really clogging up that middle portion, and when you're not getting your way, getting out of the zone, Coach Dillon should have made the adjustment earlier to get them to go up against the boards and just chip it out of your own zone, because ultimately you're not going to create any offense when you're trapped in your own zone, and you saw that in the first game when they were scored on a couple times, especially I believe the second goal for the Devilettes right in front of the net. You saw the Lakers just couldn't get out of their own zone for a couple shifts.
Right. Now, while the women's team get ready to go to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania to take on King's College, who do you think will get the start in the net?
You know, it's tough to say because you look at these two teams they're playing. Wilkes, they have 7 skaters and 2 goalies. Their roster is comprised of 9 players, and King's College isn't much better. They went 0-22-1 in their first season last year. They're not looking that much better, so this is almost another pair of, I don't want to say exhibition games because they obviously count towards the season, but I could see all 4 goalies getting time. Ultimately, I think Rachel Farmer gets the starting position. She wouldn't come over from Cortland as a starter if she didn't kind of have an agreement that she would be a starter unless she fell flat. So I think it's really going to be a battle between the 2 freshmen in Hannah Lindy and Cassie Shakar for that second slot. And right now, I have to give Shakar the edge after that first exhibition match.
Yeah, you definitely read my mind because I think 4 goalies are going to be playing in this week's contest. Now, who are some of the players that we have to keep an eye out for throughout the rest of this season?
A couple, I think Jeannie Patton's one of them. She was supposed to be one of the better recruits from last season, and she scored 9 goals, 4 assists, 13 points, which was really good for the team. But she was on a 9-game goal-scoring drought where she didn't score a single goal. And as a sophomore, she's more comfortable now. I don't think that's going to happen again. So imagine if she has those 9 games where she does score a goal. You could see her eclipse 15, maybe, I would say 15 goals is a really good set for her over the course of the season. And if she can do that, then this team is set up pretty nicely. You know, Olivia Ellis put up a point per game last year. They need to replace some of that production, and I don't point to any one player. I think the back end, the defense is going to be a lot more of a force offensively, and I think that starts with Philomena Taggart, the sophomore as well. She looked really comfortable in the back half of last year, and you saw in that first game, much more active with the puck, did a good job getting up and in on the rush, and she was credited with that with a goal. And I think if she power plays this second penalty kill unit, then I think that's going to be a really good option for the team.
Now, 3 weeks ago, we listened to Diane Dillon's press conference, and she believes this team can go really far. Now, Matt, how far do you believe this team can go?
You know, this is a team that's, I think, is going to make it back to the New HL Conference Final. You look at the team, Buffalo State lost much of their better players from last year. Cortland is really the same old team that, quite frankly, isn't very good. And Potsdam is more the same, similar to Buffalo State. The only real competition, and it's some of the best competition in all of D3, is Plattsburgh. They're the 3rd best team in the country according to the UCHCO polls, and they're not moving from that spot. So unless the Lakers can beat Plattsburgh State in the New HL Finals, they're not going to make it to the national championship, which I think that Coach Dillon was insinuating. I don't think she expects to get back there or to go there for the first time in program history. It'd obviously be nice. They have the talent to do so. But when you're in a conference that only has 5 teams and is probably not going to get a at-large bid for the tournament, I think this is a team that ends their season like they did last year in the New HL Finals.
Right. Now, when we come back. Matt Walling will be sticking around for Laker Showdown, while Brandon Ash and Ben Greco will be joining us as well. Stay tuned. You're watching Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
And then she was like, yeah, and I was like, no. And then she was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what?
Ryan just texted me.
Oh my god, what did he say?
Netflix and chill?
Netflix and chill, that's like so last year. It's all about WTOP movies on demand and chill.
You are so right.
Yo, bro, what's wrong?
Yo, bro, my girl left me, bro.
But why?
Because I don't watch
WTOP 10 movies on demand.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Do Your Selfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old pile of t-shirts.
It's not garbage, it's actually a new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
Hello and welcome back to Laker Connections. The tie has come off tonight. We have a very special Laker showdown. After going 0-3, I realized I can't beat Jake Vanderbroek, so I got some help. Time to change things up, and we have WTOP versus WNYO versus Oswegonian. Matt Watling for WNYO, Ben Greco for the Oswegonian, and Jake will represent WTOP. So let's make sure that we have the cameras on them. But first question is offense, defense, special teams. The three keys to winning a hockey game. What is the most important part for the men's hockey team to get going and do well early?
Jake, you're the host. You can go first.
Yeah, you know what? I am going to go first, and I'm going to say it's the special teams. Let me tell you about the special teams. One of the things that they struggled last year was the power play, of course. When you had a very low percentage, they couldn't really get anything going. All they did most of the time, they just kept skating, passing the puck around. 30 seconds later, oh, I'm going to take a shot. And then it was like 3 shots within each power play. You can't be doing it. That's what they've been struggling. And it's a little better, though. As of right now, they're a very aggressive team, and that's what we saw.
No, offense. Offense. Oswego State went 16-1-1 last season when they scored in the first period. That first period goal is always going to be crucial. However,
but Ben,
they lost Hurley, but they brought back Zizek, they brought back Barry, they brought back Gillespie, they added Broman, who had 31 goals, they brought in LeBlanc, who had 30 goals, you brought in Antonucci and Bunko.
Can I just cut in here? I only got 20 seconds left. I got to make my point too. In the NHL, the last 2 Stanley Cup winners have elite power plays. Both were top 5 in the league in percentage. Second, in the 14 games the Lakers scored last year, or the 14 games in which the Lakers scored on the power play or special teams, they won 11 of those. In games they didn't, they lost 4 of those 11 games in which they didn't score a special teams goal.
There's too many.
So you're looking at this team.
There's too many pieces.
All right, guys.
The special teams, they're called special for a reason, Ben. For a reason, and this is why.
Unfortunately, there were 2 of the same answers there, but Ben, I did also like that the offense needs to get it going, so Ben gets the first point.
Wow.
Secondly, I'm sorry, I had to give it to him. I do agree, the offense is the main and important part. But now we have to go over to the women's side. Which freshman do you think will make the biggest impact this year on the ice?
Bailey Thomas. Hands down, Bailey Thomas. We all watched the game. All 4 of us were there.
Mhm.
We all
We
saw
were.
the game.
Yep.
She didn't score a single point. That's fine. But did you see
You're
that?
kind of ruining your point there, bro.
I am. Did you see, I think it was the second period. She skated all the way up the ice, got even a shot off.
Wasn't it off? It wasn't even on net.
All right.
It was not on net.
All right.
You miss 100% of the
All right,
shots you don't get on net, Ben.
All right, you were right that all 4 of us were at the game, but the thing is that it's Avery Webster, the freshman out of Waterloo, Ontario. Do you guys remember on the stat chart that she recorded the game-winning goal? She's going to be an impact. She's very quick with the puck, very precise, makes good decisions, and man, oh man, this freshman has a very bright future here at Oswego.
Now, she's very talented. Both are. But it's Sarah Cruz here. She is a key cog on that top line. She's a freshman playing on the first line with 2 of the better players on this team
in an exhibition
Sherwinski and Patton. She's going to start 10 of 16 on the faceoff dot. She led the team in faceoff percentage in that game. A freshman on a team that's now solving this issue that comes with the penalty kill, with the faceoffs.
I don't want to bash London, but their players were like 16 years old, and they're going to get like a 19-year-old.
Okay, that's the same thing for everything. You're proving nothing. That proves all. That just discredits all of us.
We were just talking about offense wins games. Defense wins games. Between Thomas, I will give you credit. Webster was very good.
Yeah,
but Thomas,
no, it's Avery Webster, no doubt.
Sarah Cruz is centering the top line. That's the most important position on a team aside from goaltending. It is.
I got Thomas.
They have a top center, and that's it.
Oh.
Of the 3 there and of the arguments, I would have to say Sarah Cruz. So that one is going to go over to Matt Waldman.
Here we go.
Like you said, big on the front
Here we
line.
go.
Hey, she was big on the front line, and she set up Morissette very nice and a lot of good movement. So they were definitely going well. Sarah Cruz just looked like she's going to be a big part. And so now we have to see, will Jake get a point to tie it up?
Hopefully.
We just saw Oswego lose in straight sets against Brockport in the volleyball game, but were able to win both of their other games. Now going into the playoffs, taking on Brockport, do the Lakers have a chance to win?
Matt, you got honors.
I got honors?
They do.
They absolutely do. They were without a significant piece in their game against Brockport this past weekend. Coach said it to him myself, I'm close with him. No, I was right. A little interview. Anyway, they had early leads in all 3 sets, 12-7, 7-3, and 8-4 in the first, second, and third set, respectively. And when you're playing a team twice in a short period of time like the Lakers are Brockport, this helps the underdog because now they can see what Brockport's all about, kind of play towards their weaknesses, and it just helps the Lakers a lot more. And this is a team that has the talent there. They're ready, they're geared up, they're fired up, and they're going to win this game against Brockport.
Matt. They lost in 3 sets. The only thing that Oswego is going to learn is that this Brockport team is very talented up front. This is a team that is very aggressive when it comes to the defensive side. They got really good blockers on this team. When they go in the playoffs, I think Oswego will make adjustments. I think that they're going to be able to win a set, but the match, come on, Matt, they're not going to win
Jake,
it all.
I gotta cut you off. You're one of
Mm.
Jake. You're one of my favorite sports writers. You know that. Heart to heart right now, but Matt's right. They're going to win.
Here we go.
Matt's my assistant. I gotta go with him. He's the assistant sports editor. He just talked to O'Connell. You know, between Allison Sullivan, Sean O'Flaherty, Lauren Fee, that offensive presence is nuts. All right, like I can't believe it. And Matt and I were talking about it. Mira Lognan-Bosman. She might come back, and she's 5th on the team in kills. That's one more offensive player that could beat Brockport, and they will beat Brockport.
Thank you, Ben.
They lost 3 sets to none.
All right,
you
guys.
really think they're going to come back?
Yes.
Yes, very much
Absolutely not.
All right, so who do I give this point to? Vanderbroek gets it. We have a tie, so I give you each 10 seconds. We go back to the women's team. Do they end above, equal to, or below 500? 10 seconds,
Just
go.
under, no improvement. They brought in a big freshman class. Yes, Buffalo State lost a lot, but they have a strong offensive out-of-conference schedule. Amherst, Plymouth, Hamilton.
Vanderbroek, go.
They're going to improve. I'm going to say the rebuilding process. This is going to be a big factor. Watch this team improve all throughout. It's going to happen. Watch and learn.
I agree with Jake. They were 1 game under 500 last year, and they lost 2 games. They were 1-3 against Buff State. They're going to be 3-1, and that's going to put them over the edge, above 500.
Below, stay in there.
Improving. They're going to improve.
All right, so we have two aboves. I'm going to give this one to Matt Watling because Vanderbroek, I'm done with you winning. No, I'm just kidding, but I did like Watling. Watling, you had a great, just every single point you made tonight was great. Good win. And Thanks to everyone coming. We are taking a 167 hour and